Hey, everybody. Welcome to Open the Gates. I'm your host, Matt Burke. Tonight, we're going to be having on Mad Ruth. He's going to be talking about his Soltac books that are on FUNDMYCOMIC. If you guys want, you could back the books. I have the link pinned at the top. And, man, you guys are in for a good one. If you guys give a warm welcome to Mad Ruth, that'd be awesome. What's up, man?
How's it going? Great. Thank you for having me on.
Hell yeah, man. And also got one of my partners in crime, one of my buddies. Everybody say what up to.
What up?
AKA Preston Azevedo. What's going on, man? How you been? It's been a while since last time you were on here.
Yeah, I've been doing well. Like I just got word from my printer today that they're shipping my books. They gave me a tracking number and everything.
Oh, hell yeah, man! And you're up there in was it New Brunswick, huh?
Yes.
Yeah. What's in a New Brunswick stew? I always wanted to try that.
Well, here's the interesting thing about the history of here. Right after the Revolutionary War, when all the loyalists, after everyone parted ways, they all moved to where I am, basically, just east of Maine. So this whole entire settlement is a result of basically after the loss of the Revolutionary War. Yeah, it's kind of cool bit of history. But,
yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, it's all woods out here. It's very rural. People can grow up their families in a safe place, a lot of fishing and hunting and stuff like that. So, yeah,
that's cool, man. My our boy Sim, he lives up there in Canada. You know Simon Potier?
Yes, I do. Yes,
yeah. He's over there.
Yeah.
There's another dude, Nova Blast, another cat. I don't know if you know Nova Blast.
I don't know the name, but
yeah, he's
a few of us kicking around. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. How's the weather up there? Is it cold as fuck or what?
No, it's really nice.
Yeah.
Summer's here finally. So yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's been starting to heat up right now over here. Doing a lot of like remodeling in my house, moving stuff around. Been working a bunch, crazy at work. But yeah, man, it's just waiting for stuff in the mail. It's buying some furniture and it's taking forever to get here. Damn IKEA.
Yeah, I did say that I had to renovate one of my showers and same thing. You gotta stain the deck and do the driveway. I mean, but yeah, thank God I own my own house. Thank God I got that before I got out of the military. Yeah.
Have you been watching that show Fallout at all?
No, I've been hearing about it. I've been reading about it on Twitter, but no.
What about you, Preston? You've been watching that show at all?
Oh yeah, that show's fucking amazing.
Oh yeah.
It's like I never played Fallout. I was never a big Fallout. The only video game I actually obsessed over was BioShock. And this looks like BioShock copy or some shit like that. Yeah, I just don't have time to do it.
Yeah, no, same here, man. I used to play video games all the time. I actually have a Fallout game, I think, but I can't play it.
Fallout 3, I had it like 90-something% complete. Like I had that. I played the hell out of that. I couldn't get into the other one, Vegas, whatever.
Like New Vegas or something.
That's when they started giving you incomplete games, and you had to download them after the fact.
Yeah, they were in a rush to release stuff or something like that.
It was glitchy as hell, and I just couldn't get into it.
Yeah. Yeah, man. There's like a crazy thing on your mic right now, Preston, I think.
Oh.
Sounds different.
What does it sound like?
Sounds like a little muffled.
It sounds like what?
A little muffled, kind of like this a little bit.
How about, am I too close to it?
I don't know what it is. Sounds different though.
Like this.
It's like it's not picking you up. It's like maybe your webcam might like be overriding.
Oh, wait a minute. I think I know. It jumped. Sometimes it does that. Let me see. Yep. That's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
That show's pretty dope though, man. I'm only 2 episodes in right now.
Now I'm watching Shogun. I've been it's getting into a lot of talking dialogue.
Yeah. Well, the original Shogun was kind of like that too. I love the original Shogun. Yeah. But, this one that was a little bit deeper into the Japanese politics, like everything that was going on. Yeah. And one thing I didn't know, I thought the original Shogun like made most of that shit up. About the Spaniards, like dividing up that part of the world and saying this is all ours now, even though we've never been there before ever. And they claimed China, like China was theirs, but the Chinese had no idea that they had claimed it. Like, and yeah, dude, it was crazy. Like, I don't know.
Just
Shogun. from my understanding, doesn't one of the characters in your book have a katana?
In mine?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're neo samurai. So I pushed my universe 6,000 years in the future, so it doesn't have to really be. You know, I mean, it's so far into the future that you're just rewriting history at that point, right? But yeah, no, I brought back the neo samurai. So yeah, I've got bounty hunters and swords and guns and AI.
Preston, have you seen these guys' books at all? Preston?
I'm looking at it right now. I was trying to do a search on it so I can
fucking dope, dude. You will love it. Like he's putting like everything that's sci-fi into one fucking book, dude, that you love, like
digging the orangutan.
John Carpenter.
An orangutan on there?
Yeah.
The fight scenes are fucking like choreographed, dude. You can see everything like a fucking like a kung fu film or something, you know.
Nice.
All the stuff in there, like I mean, I'll just start naming shit off that I like and I see in the book. You know, a little bit of Resident Evil, John Carpenter. Like, oh man, there's just so much stuff in there.
Escape from New York,
Planet from New York.
Yeah,
that's sweet. Did you do all the artwork on it?
Oh no, I wish. No, but I do the layouts and like I write it all, create it. But no, my artist Gonzalo Loyola, he's from Chile. And yeah, no, I couldn't do this without him. Like he's an incredible artist.
Yeah,
I have to check this. I might have to get copies of all this.
Oh, dude, I think you'll like it. It's cool if I play the trailer real quick.
Yeah, absolutely, of course.
Sweet. All right. That's pretty dope. I like the music in there.
Yeah.
Cool.
That was good stuff that did that trailer.
Oh,
he's
really?
Got a really good. Yeah, he does them for a really good price. You get a good trailer out of him for under $100. So
that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Man. Hit that dude up.
Yeah.
How long is your campaign going to be up? Like, is it complete? Like, is this the 4 issues? Like, is that it? Like, is it the story? Like, the whole story is completed?
So yeah, so I first started, my first campaign was a graphic novel. Sorry to pull away from my mic. So it was this book here, because you know how back in the day we had to do trade paperbacks, right? Remember, everyone wanted $25 for a trade. Yeah. But you know, the amount of cost in production to create a book that's that thick off the hop, I couldn't do that again the second time, right? So with Luke Stone, I split this into 3 floppies. And I said, hey, those are smaller bites, and I could handle doing floppies instead. So the same book, I split it into these, right? Issue 1, issue 2, issue 3. So these are all.
The original book was basically a graphic novel, like a big trade paperback.
Yeah. So this is 1, 2, and 3. It's the betrayal, and this is also 1, 2, and 3. So it's the exact same story, just split into floppies.
Okay.
So that way, I was able to do issue 4, and it's only 32 pages. You know, it's another floppy, so that's issue 4, and that's what's being delivered right now. And then I've already got like 80 copies each of these. So once issue 4 arrives, I can throw them all together in bundles and ship them. And issue 4 is on its way right now.
So you have copies of the graphic novel? Like
I got a whole bunch of those too. Well, yeah.
I'm gonna have to hit you up privately and get one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that cover on that.
I'm a collector. I like getting the original. Like
if you back my campaign, honestly, I'll just throw it in. Just no worries. I'll just add it.
Sweet.
Yeah. I've got like 200 of these, so I'm happy to get rid of them because we did have binding issues with them. Like 1 out of every 7 of these falls apart. But like, how do you go through and find out which ones are which? So I tell people if they have one and they just message me, I'll just mail them a new one. But
nice.
But yeah, for sure, I'll just throw that in. No worries.
I knew you dig this book, Preston.
Yeah, it looks badass. Looks very metal.
Yeah,
very.
dude. It's just like because he was like one of the first people I had on my show, dude. Open the Gates, and we were talking about the graphic novel. Now we're talking about the fourth one, but man, he just like just I was like just check, like I said, just checking all the boxes. They follow the. I don't know. Maybe if you want to give a little synopsis about Soltac for the people that don't know about it. Craig?
Sure. So, like, I spent 26 years in the military, armored reconnaissance. I did 2 tours in Afghanistan and a tour in Bosnia. So, going back to like 2005, this was my escapism in the military. I wanted to do 2 things in life. I wanted to serve my country, be in the military, go to war, and I wanted to be a writer when I got it, right? You know, it's that whole thinking and all. But so you got a lot of idle time on your hands with nothing else to do in the army. Like a lot of time sitting in airports and sitting in dirt holes and sitting on sentry. You got nothing but time, honestly. So, so that's when I started dreaming up this idea, just like as a fly on the wall, 6,000 years in the future of what humanity would be like. And then, I mean, obviously you've got to create a story and you've got to create a band of misfits. So that's when I got the backstory of, oh, what's this up? You can really tell throughout the course of the book that Mad Ruth took his time and structured. Thank you very much, Aldous.
Yeah, I can just tell by like, I mean, if you guys go back and watch the first stream, I could totally tell, man. Like, oh my god.
So basically, I had to create what my characters would look like, and then create all the stories around them. So Dexter Barrow, he's like this rugged bounty hunter. He was a sergeant major in the war against artificial intelligence. And everybody lives to be like 300 years because we modified our DNA at this point, 6,000 years in the future, right? So everyone's like WWF wrestler size, you know, like the peak physique and live to be 300 years and all that good stuff. So he's got like years of experience. He fought in the war. He's now like this ruthless bounty hunter who will do anything for money because we've conquered the whole solar system, all the moons and various planets and terraforming and space stations, but we haven't gotten out of the solar system. I think that's a big enough sandbox, I think. Yeah. And I think traveling at light speed, I don't want to get too much into science and stuff, but it becomes unrealistic, right? Because of the time constraints of traveling at the speed of light. Like, right. So, you know, I figured inside our solar system is a good enough universe, and we've modified DNA and stuff. So I've got little ferrets that talk and they're telepathic, and obviously like orangutan, it's now sentient. We've got artificial intelligence, which we've been at war at. So just creating that whole universe on my own. And it's ruthless, and it's, you know, it's really cool, and it gives our reason for why these characters all find each other, and why they're on this great mission to take care of this overarching galactic conspiracy that's basically keeping us confined in our solar system. And it just tries to unravel all those layers of why humanity's here, and, you know, why we haven't been able to interact with artificial intelligence, and sort of what kind of things lurk beyond our solar system. You know, yeah.
Yeah, I like that. That's cool as shit.
Yeah.
Cool, man. And like the character that what's the main character's name? The bounty hunter?
Dexter Barrow. Yeah.
So like Dexter Barrow. Yeah. Like I remember on the other campaign, like you go extensively into his origin, and like he has different costumes, and like like so fucking cool. Like like I was saying earlier too, man, like the fight choreography in here is awesome, dude.
So I've been a huge comic book fan since '85. Yeah. So I mean, I've got boxes. It's ridiculous. Not like everywhere I went, I always had a fistful of comics. Even in the military, people used to laugh at me, you know, the nerd, right? But then secretly, those guys would, hey, can I read that?
Yeah, we get that. Yeah, of course. Once the ladies walk by at the bar,
hey, can I get that book back? Can I get that book back? Hey, you know, like having to hunt my stuff down. Oh yeah, but
the artist on that looks like Jackson Weiss from like old '80s Marvel.
Yeah, I love the artist on here, dude. Yeah. Like, oh man, like a lot of people, like most of the time they don't show the march. They don't show they don't get down with the fight choreography. They usually just have the wind up and the pitch, you know, and then you have the guy flying through the wall. We talked about this on the show, but I'll always talk about this because I fucking love seeing fights. I want to see everything in there. I want to see that if possible. I like to see the technicalities in the moves. I think I was talking about that with Mike Barron too. He did that a lot, I think, in his book Badger. Preston, you read Badger too, right?
Shit.
So I've never read any Badger. I've just seen like a lot of it, and I wanted to pick some up. That's another '90s book I never got to get, but you know, back to like martial arts.
You'd like Badger too, man. Because he was suffering from, what was it? He was a military guy from Vietnam.
Oh, really?
And he had what is it called? That mental disorder, like military guys get
PTSD.
PTSD.
Yeah.
And he would snap, and he thought he thought he talked to badgers. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, really?
And he had like these ghost companions that followed him around and shit.
Oh wow,
It was nuts, dude. It was completely off the rails. You know?
that's really cool. Yeah,
That's awesome.
I like Mike Barron's work, so I should check it out.
Me too.
Yeah, dude.
Shit.
I'm about to read Bronze Star this weekend, dude. Like, because I do little reviews on this channel. Like usually Wednesday, I'll do, because it's comic book day. I'll do like a LCS review. I've been doing Conan right now. Once I'm tapped at that, I'm gonna start doing the last Ronin. But on the weekend, I try to get like a book, like a graphic novel, you know. And I like to sit down and read it and just, you know, just kind of do a little review. And Bronze Star, have you heard of Bronze Star, Preston? The one with the werewolf sheriff, the Western?
I did. I haven't had a chance to go ahead and I never backed it. I haven't been able to back a couple of things.
I
didn't back it either, man. I got like a couple extra things.
I got Thin Blue Line from him. I
want that too, man.
Yeah, he actually got a cop to go ahead and illustrate that.
Yeah,
I want to get that book. I reviewed Private American. That was dope. And
I got a copy of that too.
That book, Bronze Star, they have a black and white artist edition. I was like, wanted that one and the colored one. I was just like, fuck, I didn't know what. I ended up getting the colored one, but I wish I bought the black and white one.
I think I'm gonna have to save up to get the Nexus. You know?
Yeah, I want Nexus too. Yeah, man. Like, there's so many books I want. I'm glad I got Soltac though, man.
Dude,
I did that in black and white too. I don't know if you knew that. Like,
let me see.
If you're not a fan of color.
Yeah, let me get you Solo. There you go.
Yeah. Like,
you got a black and white one right there.
Sweet.
So the cover's not as great, but like what I did was anytime that there was blood.
Dude. That's so cool.
I did that too.
I knew you get a kick out of this, Preston.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But yeah, why not? Right? Like the line art's already done.
No, I hear you, man. It's fucking dope.
You know, do a couple of extra cool little things like that, and you got a second book already, right? So yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%.
It's good. You put those two out, you sell it for $40. You know.
Do you have any sketch covers yet?
For in my books?
Yeah, for like number 1 maybe.
No, I haven't put anything.
You should do that, bro. You should, because you got floppies now. I mean, I'm saying you should do that. I've never done it, but I mean, I just think it's dope for like number 1s. You know what I mean? Like,
I haven't really gone after anyone to draw my characters or include my characters in like trading cards and campaigns and like stickers and stuff. I've been really bad for that, like reaching out.
That character's dope. I'd love to draw him. I'm just saying it. I like the look. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, man. He just has that cool bounty hunter, fucking biker with a trench coat.
I'm thinking the orangutan. Looks like a samurai.
Yeah, dude. He looks fun too. I was gonna say that earlier too, man. Like, you usually see other types of monkeys and like chimpanzees and gorillas and stuff. It's cool to see like an orangutan in there.
Well, I even put thought behind that, right? So it was the whole what the hell is that story? The kid story with this porridge is too hot, this porridge is too cold, this porridge.
The 3 bears and Goldilocks.
Yeah, so like having a co-pilot, right? Dexter needs someone to sit beside him in the spaceship to banter back and forth with. You have to create those relationships to fill that space. So I was thinking that, right? A chimpanzee's too small, an ape's way too big, and orangutan was just the right sort of size, right? So that's how I came. That's why
we're talking about Captain Simeon.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Space.
You ever seen that, Captain Simeon?
No, I have an orangutan on there too. Cool.
You know what I think I'd like to use probably? I mean, I don't know. Maybe a baboon. I think that'd be kind of cool because the face is so scary, dude. On a baboon, like you can do a lot with it, you know.
Then you have that big red ass you can put on there. Too.
Yeah, I mean, you could like really like give him a kilt and kind of flash people.
Some sort of a diaper or something. Yeah.
Yeah. So for Soltac 4, man, is there a little something maybe you could tell us about that? Little synopsis on that issue.
Yes. So the extra 32 pages, what's beautiful, if you scroll through this campaign, I actually updated it as I kept going. So there's lettered pages on the campaign. When I first started, they weren't there, but once I got the lettering done, so if you scroll through these, you will get to experience some of my writing, my lettering. As soon as it came back from Kurt Hathaway, bam, I threw those in there, right? So it was really easy to jump into 4 after the trade because it was basically 3 major sequential fights that sort of I built up to in the first graphic novel that had to happen. So the first bit is more of Dexter and Giles. They had a business partnership and they had a falling out, and they banter about that in the graphic novel. Well, you get to live the flashback of what went wrong and what dissolved their friendship. So that's the first half. The next one is Misha Atsu. She's got this back and forth with her father. Her father's the shogun, and she's basically like a Ronin outcast that he's she's got daddy issues, right? So she basically comes back for her birthright. He's all decrepit and he's a zombie and his body's deteriorating. He's on the verge of death. So she needs to come back one way or the other to take her throne, right? To take her birthright.
Yeah.
So that story arc transpires. And then lastly, the graphic novel, I don't want to give away too much, but it ends up with Dexter on Mars with the AI. That story also, it pushes that story a little bit along further in issue 4. But yeah, I'm doing issue 4 with the intent of doing 5 and 6 and then putting all of them together in a trade paperback. It's just I can't afford to do 96 pages anymore up front if these campaigns don't make more money, right? If they did, I would gladly do it. I'd love to get all 9 issues out and just not stop working. Me and Gonzalo would just, be like machines if we could raise enough money. You know how that is. But,
I mean, like for me personally, like a lot of people love sci-fi and like it's a popular genre, always will be. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I think what you do good on here with there's a couple other cats, but very few. You do a good blue collar sci-fi in here, but you also put in, it's very grounded, dirty, like Alien, the first Alien with the fucking space truckers. You know what I mean? And I like that. You know what I mean? It's just not too far off in the future. But then you bring in a lot of other influences, and again, the awesome fights and just different stuff, man. And like I don't know, man. I just think it's like the perfect blend of comic book that I'm excited to read. Like I can't wait to read this.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm very much influenced by all that. Like I was an Image Comics guy in the 90s. So I mean, I read Spawn, like same thing with reading. I'm starting to read Butch Cleaver, by the way. I got it right here.
Oh, what the hell?
Started reading that. Yeah, love it. But obviously I'm influenced by like Spawn, Bloodstrike, Youngblood. I read everything by Rob Liefeld, and I mean, I could go through all the Image Comics for days, right? But so that's a lot of my influences in my comics. And
shit, that's crazy. Yeah. Oh, that's cool, man. Like I also am a '90s kid. I grew up in like I was really into the Max. I mean, obviously it had like the MTV show. I watched the hell out of that. But I could also pick up the books too. I love Spawn. Pitt was really cool too, because Pitt kind of carried over into the Max. Like he was in issue number 7, I think. And I just thought he looked cool, like this buff, like Hulk looking metalhead dude, And I only had a few issues. Like the one though that stuck with me with Pitt was that one where he fights the werewolf. And I was just
that was badass. This
is so like clean and like shiny and like brutal and visceral and next level art. Like my little like fifth or sixth grade brain didn't know what to do with it, But then you come over to
artists take their own like a lot of liberties when they're doing classic monsters like that, and he made it look like crazy, dude.
So good, man. Like and there was so much stuff that like came out in the 90s, dude. Like there's this one guy. I mean, Cartoonist Kayfabe, they cover a lot of this stuff, but they used to.
Yeah.
But also there's this dude called AKA Pad, Peter A. DeLuca. He does a lot of fucking 90s stuff on there right now. He did the Ultimate Warrior comic. That was really cool. I really like the Ultimate Warrior, by the way. Cool biography.
You guys check out. Huge Ultimate Warrior fan.
Dude, he did his own comic and like fucking broke down the like the whole thing in the first page. Like this color goes to this word balloon, and this is why this word balloon.
You know
is
why
like,
he got
glossary in the first
down,
page,
right? Like,
well, Vince McMahon was going after him because
like,
he was trying to be an entrepreneur, And his family had this like thing where all the men would die at the age of 50.
Yeah,
so
that
all
was
the Hell
crazy,
wigs.
dude.
So they would. Did you see that biography on him, Mad Ruth?
No, I haven't. No.
Fucking dope.
Oh,
it's
dude,
on YouTube right now. It's so good, and like yeah, it was just so cool. Like this, like made me like the guy even more. And he was a conservative, and he didn't give a fuck. He was so based, like dripping with based. But just man. Like I'm like, damn, I want those 4 Warrior comics. And I just love the bombacity of the 90s. That like there's just things I love about the 90s from being a kid, but then there's also things from like the 70s and 80s and stuff that I want to pick up too. You know what I mean? And then there's just like the classic stuff. Like now I'm just like a comic book whore, like in general. But I love the different decades for what they are. I respect them and love them for what they are. But
for sure.
That's a good show though. I'd like to have that guy on this show sometime. But
yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, man. Was there any other like books that you liked to growing up other than some of the ones you named? Any other artists or writers? Because real quick, Preston, You should see Mad Roots like breakdowns his stuff for his artists, man. They're finally detailed, like his whole universe, like meticulously. Like I don't know, man. Like I'm just really cool.
So,
but
I can show you some of that. Yeah. So I mean, I'm a writer, and I mean, like I don't consider myself an artist, but like there's an idea of my thumbnails that I give to.
Oh, sweet. Yeah.
So, and then like here's a page out of my book that's me sort of doing it up for my artist. So every week I would give him one of these, and every week he would come back and he'd give me another page, and I'd give him another page. So every Friday would be our deadlines, and it's just like we'd spend the weekend discussing it. I would show him like 9 panels, and he would say, "Nah, I can do it in 6." And we would just go back and forth. And then by Sunday, we're like, "Okay, we got it. We got the next page." And that's just how we work, 1 page a week.
That's like the best.
That's cool.
Example of a writer ever.
Right?
And do
see that,
all the layouts for you. That way you don't have to worry about that.
You see the layouts, and he gives them 9. And the artist is like, "That's dope, dude, but I could do 6." And he was he wasn't like, "No, fuck you. You're doing my 9, and you're drawing it like this."
No.
But he was
But
he gave him a lot.
Hardest part to me is doing the layouts. Like,
it's a collaboration.
Layouts, right?
You need to pull your interest, and you got to rely on people's expertise and knowledge. And you don't want to stifle creativity. You want to encourage creativity. No one wants to work for a tyrant,
No, I mean, like, and that's why you work with someone that you love. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, me and Preston, we like to work with Brian Kreisgau. He's an awesome writer. What's up, Brian? How you doing, brother?
Smack about me behind my back?
Nope. You just kind of popped in when we were talking about writers and the whole creative process of like when the writer works with an artist and vice versa, and they got to have like a simpatico, fun, organic, artistic storytelling relationship. And they both got to be having fucking fun doing it.
Did you guys see this article about the brain, what happens in the brain of jazz musicians?
No.
I posted a link, I think, on both my Facebooks and my Twitters.
Oh, wait, no, I think I saw one thing about the brain. Yeah.
They discovered that when like jazz musicians are in the zone and vibing with each other, that like there's something special going on in the brain. And I think that's like the relationship between, at least ideally, that's the relationship between a writer and an artist, is that you riff off of
or even a band, a good band, right? Where it's not just one person carrying it.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's like, I think in a band, like everybody needs to like contribute. When I was in a band, like I think we took it too seriously sometimes, and we kind of kept going back and fucking with the song. And it's like, no, and also go with your gut sometimes. Like just that's the riff. Because a lot of time you go back to that same I call it a backbone riff. You would go back to that backbone riff, like that main heart and soul of the song. And I don't know, like just overthinking it sometimes. You know what I mean?
But that's what you do when you're young.
Giving everybody a shot in the band, like to write. Sorry, Brian, what are you saying?
Yeah, that's just what happens when you're young, and you're still figuring shit out.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not forming a band just to get girls, because
which 99.9% of all bands are formed specifically for that reason, including the Beatles. And evidently, I think the reason they chose Ringo was so that there would be more punani for the other members of the band. By the way, sir, I don't believe we've been formally introduced. I don't believe we've met before.
No, yeah, likewise. Yeah, no, Six Gun Gorilla. I've definitely seen your book around. So. Yeah.
Awesome. Your book looks sweet, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, Brian, you would love this book, man. It's got like all the stuff you'd want, like in a sci-fi book, man.
Even an orangutan.
Yeah, he's got a badass orangutan in here, and yeah. He's got the 4 issues up right now on FUNDMYCOMIC. He was like the second book to launch on FUNDMYCOMIC. Yeah. We were talking about like the cool fight choreography that's going on in here. Just the lore, the intensive lore that he's built on this book. How long did you say you worked on this book?
About 15 years. If you go back to like when Hurricane Katrina, back when Hurricane Katrina happened, that's sort of when I first sat down and wrote the first 6 pages of the graphic novel. Because I just remember that point in time, I actually sat down and dedicated myself to start writing. That's how far back. Yeah.
That's crazy, man. And how long? Sorry, Brian.
Where are you from?
No, go ahead.
I'm originally from Toronto, but I live in New Brunswick, which is just about 20 minutes east of Maine. So
no, when you said Katrina, I was just because I live in Louisiana, like we got hit hard.
I just meant time wise, yeah. No, I just remember that moment in time, right?
Right.
So
yeah, it's kind of hard to forget. I remember going and like, it was funny going back like years later and seeing like the message that I posted on like email group and how it, and you used that group. It was all, all hard case and just fucking just a stream of obscenities. Like, this is bullshit and murderous. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah. No, it was just that was a significant moment for the country, because that's when everybody in America suddenly realized that if the shit hits the fan, you're on your own.
Well, they turned down so much.
Government's not there to help you.
No, they wasn't actually. They actually turned down other countries because they were trying to come in to help.
Yes, Germany had 2 flying hospitals, the first of their kind. Germany had 2 flying hospitals, and they were on their way to New Orleans, to Louisiana, to help. And yeah, they got turned around. Like, they got
turned around, and there was no support in Louisiana for any of the people down here. They had dead people like just all over the place. They couldn't bury them. They'd just put a tarp over them, and just let them heat up and rot in the sun.
Oh my God, I can't even imagine. Can't even imagine.
There was rape gangs in the Superdome over there, just like fucking taking advantage of anybody they could.
Jesus.
Oh my God, that's
nuts.
Hell. That's fucking hell, man.
I remember also when that happened, that's when I was taking that comic book writing course with Denny O'Neil, and he said he remembered at first nixing the idea of the Batman event. It came after Cataclysm, right? Where basically everybody, it's like Gotham is just left. It's just like, okay, everybody that's out is coming, that wants to come out now, because we're blowing the bridges and we're just leaving everybody else to die. And he said that he was just like, no, there's no way they let, in America.
That's exactly what they did.
City,
that was the second time they did that they blew the levee to save New Orleans, and they let other parishes, including where I lived at the time, Chalmette. My grandma lived there, and her house got completely flooded during Betsy and Camille because they blew the levees. You know what I'm saying? And then during Katrina, they did the exact same thing. They blew the levee, and New Orleans still flooded. So it was
so bad, so brutal, man.
They said it was crazy. Like the people that stayed, they said it was crazy. Like they were like, "Oh, the storm's done. That was easy." Then they heard a rumbling, right? And they look outside, and there's this wave of water just coming down the street. It was nuts, dude. Whole houses like came up from the foundation and just floated down the street, like banging into all the houses. And then when they settled, when the water went down, strangest thing, dude. Like the house looked like it was built right in the middle of the street, right? Then they had fucking like F-250s on the roof of other houses, like just there. It was nuts. It was the craziest fucking thing.
I know that there were like commandos that were outside the banks and shit. Like journalists would like, as we're driving through, they'd see like these commandos, like mercs, outside of like the banks and other areas, and be like, move on. Well, they secured certain places fast.
What was even crazier was the cops, the local police departments were deputizing the locals, not to keep the peace, but to do all their dirty work. So like, hey, that Home Depot, I need y'all to go clear it out and bring it to this address.
Dude, that would be a perfect setting for a comic book, like to put Snake Plissken right in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
Or like some badass dude just go in there and fuck everybody up. You know what I mean?
Dude, this was like,
man.
Fucking exactly like, look, dude, when I went back to the parish to go check out my house, because I owned a house back then. And when I drove up to the parish, when they finally opened it, they had these big fucking machines over there because they built a wall of cars stacked up on top of each other. And that was the wall separating that parish from the rest of the country. From everybody else, from the rest of New Orleans and other parishes. So when you drove up, they had to split those cars apart so that you can come in.
It's like something out of like a John Carpenter movie, dude.
It was literally like that. It was
like Walking Dead. That's what I'm saying. I mean, it's perfect for a comic. Like you could take like the stuff that happened to you and like make that into like a story. And
oh God,
you know.
so many of the stories that I heard. You know, I'm not going to get into them because we're not here to talk about Nolans. We're here to talk about this comic.
Private American versus the Flood. Yeah,
lots of you know.
I gotta head out. I'll talk to you guys soon. Your comic looks badass, dude. I'm gonna have to get in touch with you about getting a copy of the big book.
Oh, for sure.
You guys take it easy.
Yeah, have a good
later, brother.
Peace out, Preston. Oh, wait, is he gone? He's gone.
Yeah.
He's gone. I have to ask him where he put the upload files on. I'll hassle him in private.
I was wondering, Mad Ruth, like for like let's say for you got four issues like lined up. Are you gonna, or actually 6, right? Do you have anything else planned after that?
Right. So I have to sit down and actually write 5 and 6. So what I was saying with 4, it was really easy to put 4 together because it was just 3 fights, right? That's super easy to lay out. And there's not, it's just 3 scenes of fighting happening. But I got to sit down with 5 and 6 because I'm actually beefing up these books up to 36 pages.
Oh, nice.
With the Arrow Comics. I want to put the trade dress price up to $6, and to justify it, I'm just going to add 4 pages to each book. So with that, 5 and 6, they now have to be 72 pages. So I can't just like willy-nilly do it the same way I did with issue 5. Right. I actually got to lay out those 72 pages.
And you're a different person now too. You like learn things, you know what I mean? Like every year, every 6 months is like creators, we're kind of learning things. Yes. We're in this like kind of, I don't know, crowdfunding comics indie new, 2024 thing, right? It's not the same. This is a new industry of comic book creating, right? YouTubing and stuff, but we're learning shit, and we're not learning probably at the same way the old school cats did, but we're bringing that knowledge and we're putting it into our new books. Right. And so things are different.
Right. And I mean, each page costs a lot of money. Like it costs almost like about around $200 a page, like to pay everyone that collaborates on that page. Like,
yeah. So, it could be even more than that. That's cheap.
I got to make sure
cheap,
every one of those 72 pages, it has the right punch, the right amount of panels. I'm not wasting, time. I'm not wasting panel space. And for the amount of story that I create, I got to make sure it's perfectly laid out 72 pages before I can even do a campaign for issue 5 and 6. But so I figure it might be like a year down the road or so. I'm not going to rush myself. I'm going to kind of enjoy a little bit of time. I've got an overprint I'm going to try to sort of get rid of too, because that's a lot of stock just sitting in long boxes in a filing cabinet that I could really use the money to pay my artist, put right back into the book. Oh, by the way, every dollar I make goes right back into Soltac. I don't do anything else with it. But I just need that time to lay those two books out. And then I think my next campaign, because I still haven't broken 5 figures, and you know how that every artist, they want to break that 5 figures just to say I did it. So what I'm going to do is I think my funding goal is going to be like 4,000 for issue 5, which scares the hell out of me because I've never had a goal that big before. But so 4,000 for issue 5, and then if I break the 10K mark, I'll give everyone issue 6 for free, and then I will have the next trade paperback once I.
That's good, man. No, so, I think you'll be able to hit it. I gotta ask you a question, man. If you were to make an action figure of you, what would it come with?
Oh, good question. It would probably, my good old assault rifle, which is like the M16, because that's the weapon I serve with the most. But,
this is a funny question I always bring up at work. You know what I mean? We would fuck with each other. You know what I mean? Like, because you'd find what people would bring into work. Like, you'd have your CD player and your coffee cup.
I like my assault rifle. I mean, I've been three tours with it. I served with it for 20 years. I know how to take that thing apart and put it together. Yeah.
Me, I'd have my drawing. I'd have my coffee and my little drawing board. Have you ever thought about making action figures for Soltac?
Oh, I haven't thought that far out. Right now, I'm just trying to tell the story. I'm already accomplished so much. I mean, this community has been so fantastic. So like, if you go back to 2018, I would never have imagined telling Soltac as a comic book. I was going to write novels, and who reads novels anymore? Like, as much as it's hard to have comics book as a continuing thing, because it seems to be generationally we're losing, or at least everyone's reading manga nowadays. Yeah. But even less people read novels than they did going back a few years. So. Like 2018, I watched The Last Jedi, and I was so pissed off. I was so angry. I was so insulted. And then Disney basically, you know, if you're a 40-year-old white dude complaining about this, you're a misogynist bigot and you can go away. We don't want you as a customer, right? And like, what the fuck? You know, I've loved Star Wars for 40 years. How dare you treat me like this? But that's what put that fire in me to say, you know what, I could do better. I could tell a better sci-fi story than you.
Yeah.
I could do this. Like, we're at a point now where I'm confident I could do this better. And when I discovered the community, you know, Comicsgate and indie comics, and I realized, holy shit, there's actually a network out there of creators supporting creators. And if you make a good product, you know, it's like the Coliseum. Like, you'll have your opportunity to show your book, and maybe people will buy it, maybe they won't, but at least there's a place you can go. So yeah, that's what just lit the fire. And I said, you know what, I'm going to try this. And then I learned everything I could. I spent 2018, 2019, basically 2 years teaching myself how to make a comic book, watching all the shows, watching all the, you know, I mean, all the streams, reading how to draw comics the Marvel way, reading On Writing. There's a couple other graphic novel creating, learning about panels and sequential artwork, and, you know, why to make a long panel and a short panel and a close-up. You know, before I even attempted to tackle this, I spent a couple years like learning how to do it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like, that's like, I mean, how rare is that these days, do you think?
Wow, man.
A Zoomer doing that?
No, hell no, man.
But you have to put in the work.
You have to.
You have to put in the work.
Yeah.
You know, it's just everybody wants to go from A to Z. And it's just like, no. It
takes time. Yeah. It doesn't happen overnight. Time. Yeah.
No, far from it. So, you know, and the people that are afraid to start doing it because they're afraid of failing, I'm like, just get in there now and start fucking doing the work and get your shitty work out of the way. Right? Because you have to learn to crawl before you can run and everything. But it's interesting that you had that moment, because Stephen King talked about that. Has spoken about that a lot. That moment that, you know, you're watching something or reading something or listening to something, and you think to yourself, I can do better than that.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah.
That's the birth of so many creators, for sure.
There's a channel I like, one of the first YouTube channels I ever subscribed to, because I got into, like, I don't know, YouTube kind of late, and I got into social media too, just so I could kind of try to get my art and my comics out there. That's the only reason. Otherwise, I wouldn't even do it. But one of the first channels was Strip Panel Naked. I highly recommend it to you guys. I don't know if you guys have heard of it, but the dude doesn't do, it's all just breakdown. It's really well put together YouTube channel. Strip Panel.
What's it called again? Strip Panel Naked.
Yeah, and they just do deep dives on the comp. It's like the second, I'd say that and Cartoonist Kayfabe were the best comic book shows, but this one is just strictly about how they put the pages together, and the videos are very well produced, and I'm like, damn, I gotta go back and so deep dived, and like the dude just, and he had a magazine too, and this was like 5 years ago, and like it slowly started going away. But I was just like, damn, dude, that was such a good YouTube show. You know what I mean? Like, very, very well executed and put together, you know? And you don't really see people do that. Like, they just deep dive on every panel. It's kind of intuitive and like very fine detailed, you know? And I really like that show a lot. How to Draw Comics the Marvel Way. I had that as a kid growing up, you know what I mean? So I like studied that. And then, like, you know, Buscema drew that. And I don't know, like that was always like in my head, the way that he drew, you know, even before like I got into the whole 90s stuff. I got it pretty young, and you know, like reading Conan now, I'm like thinking about, you know, Buscema, they got that Del Torre guy, and I'm just like, you know, thinking about that art, and I love the way that he draws, and going back and reading that stuff. I don't know, but yeah, I'm right with you there, Craig.
Yeah.
Same shit, sort of.
We just keep taking it all in. Just there's so much out there, and the more I'm learning, like I didn't know anything about, like, going back. I thought I knew about comics, I knew nothing. It's like anything else. The more I'm learning, the more I realize how little I know.
It's embarrassing sometimes too, because you think you know shit, and you're like, damn, I don't know fucking nothing. You know what I mean? But I mean, your book looks, your book like is pro level. You know what I mean? And you should because Brian, we had him. He was like one of the first shows that we had when I started Open the Gates like over a year ago. And it has, like, he's on the 4th issue. He took the first, that when he was on earlier, he had the graphic novel, right? Yeah. He broke the graphic novel down. It's 3 issues. Yeah. And now he's got the 4th issue. So you could pick up all 4 floppies, right?
Yes.
And on that one, on that page, there was different artwork, and you could see these other. I mean, there's dope ass artwork and stuff on here too, but then there's a lot more other stuff too. You can check out really cool fight choreography and like Carpenter and dude, Blade Runner, Alien, like
Star
all
Wars.
the Star Wars, like all the cool shit, dude, like that you like. It's like it's in there. I'm like, oh my god, and samurai stuff, like samurai shit. Like I don't want to, sound like a fucking dude from California, but man, and
it was done with intent too. So like some people are like, hey, I can tell where you got this. I'd make no secrets of it. I took everything I love from the 80s and 90s, and I threw it all in a blender.
Same here, man. Like with my character, like I did like for launch for FUNDMYCOMIC, I had 10 tabs open of influences for Butch Cleaver, and I'll still like, that was only 10, and I got more. Like I will.
My head's already racing with that character. Like looking up here, like because it's got that Mothman influence. I'm just thinking like it's the 1800s. You don't quite got subways yet, but you've got like undergrounds and cities and like the Gothic style, and you got gargoyles, and I'm digging it. It's really cool.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, I hope you have fun reading it, and try to get better with each book. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like Brian says, in the first, you got to put out your first stuff. Might be a little, not up to par yet, but it's going to get better and better. And that's what I'm trying to do with each book. But the thing is just to keep making it. You got to put in, dare I say, those 10,000 hours. You know what I mean? You really do. And even Baron was talking about it. Yeah, man, you got to put in those hours and shit it all out. And like I believe that too, like it's just the truth. But I'm proud as fuck of those Butch Cleaver books, and I'll never go back and I'll never change anything about them. Some people go back and they gotta, they want to tweak the lettering and fucking do this and that.
No, leave the raw shit raw.
Leave it raw, right? You know what I mean? I always leave it raw, and man, like, there's gonna be some kid that might pick it up one day, or some 18-year-old, 20-year-old, like, oh, this is kind of cool. I might like that, I could do that better than him.
I do understand how artists, like with art, that whole like art is never finished, it's only abandoned. Like I sort of get that philosophy. So if you are going to change it, do it because you're making it better. Doing because there's just something there that's bothering you that you can't let it go, and you just need to make that change to move on. I can kind of get that because I do that as well. Like adding a couple pages, like my books are 32 and I'm going to beef them all up to 36. So I'm going to have to insert a page or two here and there, expand this and move that, but I'm not doing it in a negative way. I'm doing it to make it better.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Right. But then you have to be careful not to over rewrite. Right. Oh, right. Because then you get to a certain point where you actually start doing damage to it.
Yes. Yeah.
Right. Oh, absolutely. Because we all kind of like, I like to think we kind of self-edit along the way as, as we're writing, we might go back and prove, fix this, fix that. But for the first draft, it's best to just fucking shit the whole thing out, so that you have something to work with.
Well, there's some people
good writing is good rewriting, but you have to also know when to back away.
Yeah, there's some people that just over obsess and they just can never get it out because they can never stop monkeying with it.
Right? Fucking with it, yes. It's like a song. It's like writing a song with a band, like you have the backbone riff and you go in there and you start adding more and more to it, taking away, and it's just like should have went with your gut feeling on that. I will say though, with those things, you can always add more with action, dude. You know what I mean? Like you can extend a fight sequence. No one's gonna cry about that in a comic.
So that's exactly what it is. So there's sequences where the fight is short, and I know it's short, and I basically have a war that happens in 2 pages. That's exactly the pages I want to add. Is if I could go back, there would be a couple more sequential fight pages to stretch. That's exactly the pages I want to add.
Like I'll argue this till I'm dead in the grave. Like say you got a 20-page book, right, and you want to make it to 40, you can go put fucking 20 more pages of fight. I'm not going to get mad. You know what I mean? It's not going to bother me.
Yep.
Like it's not. No one's going to get mad. You know what I mean? Like it's a visual medium. So
that's why when I'm writing a script, whether it's like for Matt or for Preston, and Matt and I have been working on the script. I'm back on it. So you have to give them. You have to know what they love to draw, and give them as much of that as possible, right? Because it's going to make the book shine, and you want your artist to be, you don't want them slaving over the pages, right? You want to see some kind of jubilance and enthusiasm, right? And for the writer, you just have to fucking keep your fucking story going, right? Make sure you hit all the plot points and everything like that. Make sure you have your ending. That's the most important thing of all. And But otherwise, just let your artist just kind of go crazy. If they want to turn like one panel into like a double splash page spread, like Jack Kirby style, you know, have at it, boss.
So I took to heart. I paid close attention to the one thing about how the artist and writer relationship, and how a lot of artists get a real disdain for writers, and they end up wanting to write their own stuff because that whole, you know, you come up with a cool idea, and you know, because writer guy thinks he's the in charge guy, just, you know, is a dictator and shutting down your creativity and your good ideas and saying, no, we're going to do it my way. We're going to do it my way. Nobody wants to work in that environment. And I've seen artists walk away from projects. This guy's nuts. This guy's a power freak. This guy.
Yeah. See, that's the other thing too.
Yeah.
Don't be a dick. Don't be a dictator, and embrace the collaborative nature.
If you're going to nitpick to the point where you should be drawing it yourself, then learn how to draw. You know.
Yeah. And like I said, the rule is coolest idea wins. That means that if Homeboy has an idea that's better than mine, I might get madder than a motherfucker, right? And be jealous, like, oh God, oh fuck, coolest idea wins. Because at the end of the day, the reader is not going to know or give a fuck, right? In the end, it's just about the fucking finished product, and that's it.
Yeah. But every time my artist Gonzalo's give me a page, I've always been pleasantly blown away, you know. He's never given me something that was like, oh, that's not as good as that. No, it's very much the opposite. It's like a kid in a candy store. He gives me a page and I'm like, holy shit, we created this. Like, I can't believe this is in the world now. This exists now. Every single page. Isn't
that a joy? That's the thing, man. That's the thing. Once again, embrace the collaborative nature of the medium.
And I'm just having fun. Like, this kept me sane. Like, this kept me through COVID. Think about it. Like, I just started this 2018. Does everyone remember how insane the fucking world was in 2018?
Yeah, that was crazy.
And in 2020, like, if it wasn't for this community and everyone in comics and everyone that I made friends with, as well as coming out of the military, going from that to just being living in my house like a hermit with a 6-year-old kid and my family, you know, like, oh God, I found Comicsgate and everybody in it at the right time in the right place. I'm just having fun. And I'm grateful and thankful. Yeah.
No, dude, that's another thing too. Gratitude, a little bit goes a long way. Yeah. But also it's like we have an opportunity to do this. Like, this is something that is feasible, right? Like, the technology in the past would never allowed something like this.
It's crazy. You know? Well, it's crazy how digital art can be sent over the internet. Like, you couldn't do this in the 80s. It couldn't be done. But I could take, you know, a high 350 DPI image and send it from Chile to the Philippines, and then from the Philippines down to the States, and the States back to me in Canada, right? Like, incredible.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing too. For fucks that I love that you emphasized is, if you're doing this shit, have fucking fun.
Gotta have fun, man.
You have to make it a priority, because if you're taking it so seriously that you're not having fun, first of all, what the fuck are you doing with your life? Second, it's unprofessional of you to not be having fun. Like, this is literally something where if we're not basically having fun like little 13-year-old kids, then we're doing it wrong, because it comes across, you know,
it's just
that
group dynamics.
Enthusiasm.
Like, I mean, I was in the military for 26 years, so I mean, I know about. I mean, I know about teams. I mean, I've been in Afghanistan, wandering in villages, and I'm like, we're 20 kilometers from the nearest road. Like, if something goes bad, all we've got is ourselves. You know, you very much need to rely on the strengths of your team. You very much need to learn your team, what their weaknesses are, what their strengths are, who can carry the extra weight to you know, to help take care of that, who's a good leader, who needs a little bit of extra help. You know what I mean? Yeah, absolutely. In a band, in any dynamic, in any workplace, you want to pull the strengths from everybody in the team. You want everybody to want to be there, to want to contribute, to want to have fun. Nobody wants to work in a fucking place where they're miserable, or work with people that make them fucking miserable, you know?
Yeah, it sucks.
Yes. That's why we're lucky to be doing this shit.
Yeah. But yeah, it does make me sad when I see that happen. That you know, I mean, and that's just life experience. Like, I'm almost 50, And I think that's probably a generational thing. I wasn't always this way. You know, in my 20s, I was a prick, but
well, you know, I mean, that's the thing when is hopefully you evolve as a human being. Hopefully you evolve, right? Because there's a part of me that's still like, you know, like the little 12-year-old monster kid with his, you know, with his horror comics and all that shit. But at the same time, it's like you hope you develop some kind of emotional maturity. And you know, most importantly, it's just like, you know, take your work seriously, take life seriously, don't take yourself seriously.
Yes, for sure. Because next you know, you're 50 years old. I'm like, holy shit, where'd my life go?
I know, dude. I'm right there with you, bro. I'm right there with you. Yeah. But the thing is, it's like we're not aging like previous generations. Like, have you noticed that?
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's
people
crazy.
I can pass for being, like 10, 20 years younger than I am in some instances. That's the same here. 50-year-olds used to look like old people when I was a kid. So yes.
Yeah. So you know, 50's the new 40 and so on and so forth.
It's all the preservatives in our food.
Yeah, dude.
Maybe who knows? Who knows?
You're at 169 backers right now, man. You got to get up to like 200.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I've only got about 10 copies left too, by the way, of the floppies. Like I gotta keep a little bit of an overprint, but I don't have very much.
So you hear that, everybody? Come in here and check them out. Man. We'll pick it up. Let's get it. Let's get it going
for the first print run. So yeah, I only printed. So this is the one I printed the most of. This I've got 200 of these still in a box.
Oh, okay.
But this summer I'm gonna try to unload as much as I can. And like I was saying to you and Preston, if you guys grab the floppies and you message me and say, hey, you said you'd throw this in, I'll throw it in just to get rid of it. I'll throw it in.
Oh, nice.
So I'm telling you that right now.
Yeah, I'm messaging you.
I've only got
cool.
I've only got 60 of these left. The
black and white. So black and white blood version, Brian.
Yeah, and Gonzalo, because I need a year to write my book, he really wants to do his own 48-page comic. He's terrible. I don't want to say it. Gonzalo doesn't want to go on the internet, no matter how much I try to say, hey man, you're the artist. No one gives a shit about me. I'm the writer. People want to learn you. You're the artist. You're the talent. He just wants to draw. He just wants to go to his father's farm, and he just wants to get paid. He's like, I don't want to do the social media, man. I don't
that, man. I agree with him, dude. If I could do that, I'd do that.
Yeah, no, I mean, it has its downsides. That's for damn sure. You know, when you think of how much time we spend promoting that we could be spending on creating.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm the writer, so I've got nothing but time. So
right. Always waiting for art, you know. But that's cool, man. There's nothing like getting those pages, you know. There's nothing like getting those pages in.
But this is the first gap we've had where we stopped working, because we never stopped. Like we started January 2021. We've been working nonstop. This is the first time we've actually stopped having pages every week.
It's crazy, huh?
Wow. Yeah. But he's working on his own book, for his own 48-page book. I'm going to try to crowdfund it for him. I told him, I said, hey, look, I might be able to raise you $2,000, but it's more of like an anime style line art book that he's doing. But he just wants to create it, just like all artists. He just wants it to be real and existent in the world. And he said, yeah, if I could raise 2,000, you know, it's about 1,500 of that's going to go to printing and fulfillment. You might only put 500 in your pocket. He still said, not just to have it exist and have me send him the books would mean the world to him. So that's what he's going to do in that gap while I'm writing 5 and 6.
We got to come on for that show maybe, and we could talk about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm going to have to promote it. So, and I also got to translate it for him because he's worried like English isn't his first language. So, so I will have sort of a editing credit in the book as well.
That's dope.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that the writer is doing the translation.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen very often. Most authors don't have that luxury, do they?
Yeah.
That's great.
Well, that's awesome. Thanks, man, for coming on the show, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, dude, we got to have you back on again sooner. And also Saturdays, if you're ever available. I do the live show at 8:00 too. Come on, kick it, brother.
Yes, and likewise as well for you, Preston. And if you're interested, Brian, I have a show on Fridays. I don't know if you've heard about it. Like we've been trying to get the word out. The Friday nights. It's me, Chris Faction, and Jason Sandberg. But we do 90 minutes, 3 topics, and 1 guest. We do it every Friday. So yeah, if you have a new project and you want to get more eyes out, A lot of people enjoy backing. We definitely, it's just fun. It's just laughs. We just come up Friday. We laugh at this ridiculous shit, and then we try to see if we can get people to back a book. So yeah.
Awesome, brother. Dude, shoot me a DM or something.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm ADD as fuck, so you may have to kick me in the ass.
I'm pretty sure we follow each other, so for sure.
Okay, rock and roll. But no, that sounds great, man. Yeah. And oh man, I'm just like jealous of your background because I used to have like a dope background full of like toys.
All the cool stuff.
You should see the whole office. I got to do a video of the whole office. I got like all Gentle Giant figures and statures and stuff like that.
Gentle Giant?
Yeah,
the band?
No, it's they make stuff like this.
Oh, it's a brand. Okay.
Gentle Giant. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Where can people find you at, brother? Mad Ruth.
Yeah. So yeah, I can be found on Twitter, Dark Lord Mad Ruth, or Mad Ruth Studios is like my PG Twitter. It's when I go in Twitter jail, I jump on that one. And then I'm Craig White on Facebook. You can find me under my real name as well, Craig White. So.
Hell yeah, brother. And Brian Christgau, brother, where can we find you?
On the Twatters, on the at Brian Christgau, on the Facebooks at Brian Christgau, and believe it or not, the YouTubes at Brian Christgau 1415.
Hell yeah!
Peace.
Well, thanks guys for coming. It was fun hanging out with you. I guess I'll be seeing you guys sooner than later. Both you guys, actually, this next week or so. And
you're coming on Friday nights tomorrow. So.
Yeah, tomorrow. So a few hours. And yeah, everybody, thanks for watching. Always remember to be bold, be brave, and roll the bones to know your role. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.
Peace.